Hey, everybody, it's showtime. Friday night, we're back to politics. Tell you what song I had stuck in my head. And I don't know how my connection will be tonight. It might not be that great. We've all, the home life has been like a shaken up soda bottle, which I love at Christmas time. I keep thinking like I'm on break. I should be more productive, which is an oxymoron to think. But I really enjoy just chilling with my kids, and they're at the age where they really like that. They really like just hanging out with dad, and I know it won't always be like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to enjoy it while I can. I did want to get this out of the way that my Missouri stream team shirt is like the same color as the green screens, so I can be like part living room. Look at that. What if I take this off? How weird would that be? Yeah. Part American flag. Maybe I'll talk about politics like this, you know? Oh man. I was thinking I'm trying to figure out the hangups to this process for me. Making a thumbnail is a process that I hate. And I used to hear like Haas complain about this, like cutting up the clips and things. He didn't like to do it. And the channels that grow, like the Do Dissidents boys, great job with what you're doing. You guys are a brick wall, okay? You're doing fantastic work. This actually kind of makes me feel like more like I've been working out or something. I don't know. I kind of like it. But yeah, you guys are fantastic. And you cut up all your clips. Jackson used to cut up all his clips. Jimmy Dore has a team of people that cut up his clips. Russell Brand has a team of people that cut up their clips. I don't even think it's so much that I couldn't do that as much as it is I hate that part of the process. I hate it so much that I know if I got in the habit of doing it, I just wouldn't want to do this anymore. Maybe that's an excuse, but it is a reality. So, yeah, we'll get there eventually. As for tonight, I mainly wanted to keep the streak going. We did the Ableton stream last night, and tonight is the politics stream. So, there's various things I've seen over the past week that got me thinking, but I mainly wanted to do just kind of a Garland Nixon type, kick back and talk. And I'm glad to see my friends Jody Brar and Garland that I met at CPI. I first met Garland at CPI Chicago, but we all really got to talk at the CPI Washington, D.C. back in spring. And I'm glad to see them hooking up and making content. That's fantastic. So I'm just going to put in an hour of my thoughts on politics. How about them Houthis? Huh? People of God standing up to the other people of God. At least that's what they call themselves. Something, ain't it? It is something. And I think you just gotta use your executive decision making ability on that one as to which of those two groups seem to be more on the side of the Almighty. I saw Caleb did a stream on the Houthi rebels. I can't say the Muslim name. I'm sorry. I know there's a real name to it, but I'm a pasty white American in the Midwest. But I do take my hats off to you all for shutting down a $1 trillion worth of traffic. Isn't it 10% of the world trade supply? You've just kind of axed that one quick. And hats off. I did kind of realize as I heard Caleb describe who the Houthis are exactly. They are a mountain people. They have their own unique strain and understanding of Islam. And they believe very strongly in every family owning a firearm. That it is a man's role as someone made in the image of God to own a firearm and protect his family. And now I got to put the flag on for that one, because that reminded me of some people where I live with a little red around their necks. And it made me realize that if MAGA, if the rule Trump evangelical Christians could somehow get past the CIA programming, the 100 years of propaganda that they are to support Israel no matter what, if they want to go to heaven, because that's what Jesus wants. I was raised in this. I'm telling you it's true. It does not matter. It does not matter what Israel does. It does not matter. I was watching Judging Freedom with Judge, what is it, Napolitano? He was interviewing Max Blumenthal, and they were talking about how bad does it have to get? You know, we've gotten to 20,000 dead Palestinian children. We've hit the magical number where Bernie Sanders thinks it's worthy to mention that it's bad. God bless America. Good job, Bernie. Man, Bernie is just a brick wall for the left. Not really. Okay, enough of that. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. I'm just making myself comfy here in the living room. You know what I mean? Anyway. But yeah. What I was saying though. If somehow rural Americans who love God, who put God first, I don't think that's a bad thing. Put God first. If you don't put God first, what are you going to put first? It's Bob Dylan. You're going to serve somebody. Gonna serve. What do I got to say to get a copyright strike? Can I say serve somebody? Can I say that? Maybe the devil? Oh, it may be the Lord. But you're going to serve somebody. Liberalism serves nobody, except everybody serves themselves. Read a little Dugin, that a Russian Santa Claus looking guy. CIA murdered his daughter. Read a little bit of him to find out what happens to a society that has nothing to serve higher than the individual of liberalism and the free market, whatever that means. It does not end well. Okay? So I think that's good that rural Americans serve the Lord. Same as the Houthis in Yemen. That's how they see it. They serve the Lord. Okay? I'm not quite sure about the Israelis at the music festival. I don't know how much MDMA is involved in serving the Lord in public. Maybe possible. I don't know. But it is not the hill mountain people. This is not Not what people in the Baptist churches around where I live are doing on the weekend. So yeah, it made sense to me. There are walls in between these people understanding each other. First is the language, and I mean Arabic is pretty far from English. You know, I was trying to remember the name. Caleb Answer Allah, is that the name of the Houthis? Houthis is easy to say. I think that's why Americans have grabbed onto that. It's something we can stick with and understand. The language is a barrier. The most interesting barrier to me, though, is the religious angle. To be raised a Protestant Christian in the Bible Belt, specifically a Baptist in my case. I mean, I've seen the Israeli flag waved like in a church service in rural Missouri. I mean, these are people that haven't left the state, right? They go to Branson for vacation. And yet they support Israel 110%. No matter what they do, we got that Israeli support. Why? Because Israel's in the Bible a lot. It's something they know. It's a word in the Bible. And they can hold on to that. That's a thing. And then it kind of reminds me, I'll tell you honestly, I don't know if I probably said this before on here, but it kind of becomes like a way for evangelical Christians to separate who is serious and who's not. And the way in their minds they separate who's serious and who's not is who understands the prophecy, who understands what's coming, what's gonna, we're in the end of days. I think of it as like Lord of the Rings knowledge. You know, they've read the Silmarillion or whatever that book's called. That's like Hal Lindsey, you know. And these people are attached at the hip. Like, you're raised with this fear that if you don't support Israel, then you don't love Jesus. And if Jesus don't love you back, then, man, your chance of going to heaven when you die, that's a tough sell, man. Tough sell. You're risking it. And it just kind of becomes groupthink. Everybody goes along with this. So I've been thinking lately, I mean, the fact that almost anybody can watch this on Twitter or X now, which I think they want to shut down. They don't want people watching that. But I was still thinking as I was riding on the Christmas bus tonight with my children that even though people can watch this, I don't think they're going to. Most of the evangelical Christians, the Trump voters that I'm thinking of, they're not going to watch that. They're not on Twitter. Now, my evangelical grandmother, she did surprise me. She was on some interesting Telegram channels, and I was impressed by that. But most of them are not frequenting Twitter, so they're not seeing these videos. Okay, I don't even know. I think it would touch them a smidgen. I mean, it's hard to see like a 3-year-old in shock and not be a little shook yourself, you know. Or to see kids in a hospital playing funeral time, like 3 or 4-year-olds carrying another kid, and then laughing and giggling because they see so much of that where they live. I mean, that'll rattle you a little bit, but I still don't think that it's gonna move the needle in their mind. I don't know what would, honestly. Well, maybe tying it to Joe Biden. If you could somehow use their hatred of old Joe against the state of Israel, that might do it. That might do it. I found it interesting. I was listening. I've been kind of down the traditionalist rabbit hole here recently. I wanted to kind of learn from these people and see what they believe, if you will. The traditionalist philosophers. It's hard to read them very long. I like to dig into their influences. You know what I mean? And Dugan will reference Julius Evola a lot. And I was like, I'll see what he said. Right off the bat, we got real racist. That made me a little uncomfortable. It's hard to learn from the traditionalists without skipping a crack. And maybe it's my liberal program brain, but I just see that it's hard. It's hard to push through and get the pluck the flower from the feces, if you will. But yeah, he was saying that he was very much done with America until Trump's election in 2016. And then he realized that half of America, like 70 to 80 million Americans, are on his side. That they also hate Joe Biden's strain of liberalism. And that was heartening to him, He's playing right into what MSNBC says Trump is, but he does not care. And I think he would smile knowingly as they started to go into hysterics about that. So that doesn't bother him. But there is a connection there. The Orthodox Christians, from what I understand, at least the ones that are vocal online, here's looking at you, Jay Dyer, don't have a lot of respect for Protestant Christianity. I get that. But at least it's Christianity. At least it's not, put a MasterCard in your hand and a computer chip in your forehead liberalism, which is trying to dissolve the human itself. They're not going to go there. So there is potentially some agreement there. How to bring all this together. Anyway, what I was trying to say in a nutshell was, I think of the Houthis. The Houthis kind of reminded me of like the rednecks in West Virginia in the mining strike, like the movie Matewan. They take religion seriously. They're willing to fight and die for a cause. And they believe in the right to bear arms. And from my cold, dead hands. They both believe this. And I think it makes sense why in Caleb's story, when he went over there to deliver aid to them, that they touched his heart, and the way he tells the story is that they pretty much told him, like, hey, you should go back. You don't need to be like us. Just be like yourself. You're a very valuable person to have in America. Believing what you believe and saying what you say. And that led him back to his faith. And I get that because I see in his explanation of how those two are. This was Caleb Maupin's most recent stream, if you want to go watch it. I could see the connection. I could see it there. And yeah, I think a lot of evangelical Christians in rural America, Trump supporters, You know, where I live, I believe I live in a town of about 5,000 in rural Missouri. If I remember correctly, there were 300 votes for Hillary Clinton in 2016. If I remember correctly. Maybe it was 2020. But it's like 80-20, 90-10 maybe. Okay. And a lot of people would say that's because rural Americans are idiots. And, I want to try to play a clip. I didn't, I'm just going to play these as they come to me here. But this is Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! And she pretty much compares Trump to Hitler, of course, as Russell Brand made a joke. How is Trump like Hitler this week? So here's this. Let's see if I can share it. I know my internet connection's not the best, but we'll give it a shot here. Share tab. Let's try this one.
This news is funded by viewers like you. Please support our work at democracynow.org/give. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
We end today's show looking at Donald Trump's increasing authoritarian rhetoric on the campaign trail. Over the weekend, Trump claimed immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country.
I think the real number is 15, 16 million people into our country. When they do that, we got a lot of work to do. They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poisoned.
Trump's remarks sparked widespread criticism. Vice President Kamala Harris said Trump's words were, quote, similar to the language of Hitler. On Tuesday, Trump doubled down during a campaign stop in Iowa.
It's crazy what's going on. They're ruining our country. And it's true. They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said that. And I never read Mein Kampf. They said, oh, Hitler said that in a much different way.
Trump was standing between two Christmas trees. We're joined right now by Jeff Sharlet, award-winning journalist and author, professor of English and creative writing at Dartmouth College, author of several books, including The Undertow, Scenes from a Slow Civil War. Of course, Iowa caucus and the New Hampshire primary are the first two for the Republicans. The Democrats have changed their primary schedule. Jeff, first respond to this poisoning of the blood and the comparisons to Adolf Hitler. His wife, Ivana Trump, the mother of his first three
this guy dog just a little bit.
Falling down the
Let's
stairs.
let Dartmouth tell us.
A little while ago, had said that he had a book of quotes of Adolf Hitler on his bedstand. Take it from there, Jeff.
Happy Friday to you, brother.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating that Trump volunteers. I haven't read Mein Kampf. And in fact, the book he's alleged to have had and seems to pretty certainly have had was a different book of Hitler's. But what's fascinating to me is he's going out of his way to say that and to repeat that language after the comparison's already been made. And I think he's invoking that.
Vanity Fair, contributing editor.
Drama. And I think he's counting that in his base, he's going to be more helped by the high drama of Hitlerian operatics in World War II than the comparison to the worst fascist dictator in history. I don't think he's dodging it. I think he's going toward it.
Okay, so here's Jeff Sharlet. Let's see, because I did comment on this. Oh, here, I got 55 likes. I said, come spend some time in rural America, Amy. It would greatly enhance. Here, I'll zoom in. Can you see that on the stream? Yeah, here we go. There's my comment. Come spend some time in rural America, Amy. It would greatly enhance the accuracy of your coverage. No investigation, no right to speak. Got the little red flag on there. Get out of NYC and Dartmouth. Think a little bit and touch the grass. Okay. I haven't looked at these replies. What should we do? Should we dig in? I usually never look at the replies. I'll be honest. I never, ever look at the replies. But for some entertainment, let's do it. No thanks. You guys can have your theocracy, and the rest of us will continue to have personal freedoms. Ostrich much? Hey, that's a good one. Up, down. Why don't you spend some time out of rural America? Hey, I was just in D.C., brother. I was just in Washington, D.C. How's that? There are plenty of personal freedoms in rural America. In most places, there's even more freedom than in the cities. Amen to that. I got a cabin up in the mountains, Pennsylvania, where I can target shoot from my deck if I want to. Everyone there does. I can't do that at my house in the suburbs. My cabin is not subject to an housing authority associate. I can't remember what that stands for. As many of the neighborhoods near my house are. HOAs don't even exist up there. ATVs are explicitly allowed on some dirt roads by my cabin. They're very much not allowed in my neighborhood. Yeah, so I don't even know what that is where I live. Housing authority, I think it is. Homeowners association. That's it. Let's see. Sort by top. Is that just putting me at the top? Or was I the no, this guy's way up. I was hoping I had the most. Oh, well. Yeah. That was my point, though. The guy's like, Trump is Hitler, and everybody likes him as a Hitler. Nazi Hitler. Listen, I'm telling you, where I live, okay? Let's just be honest. Where I live, almost, I think it's like 90% white. No one here is explicitly racist. Maybe a few. I don't know. It's not. They act like it's everywhere. Like the rural America's just like, whoa, all we want is a Hitler. We want a Christian fascist. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, Donald Trump's our man. That is unbelievably stupid. That is not how it is in rural America. It's not. I lived here my entire life. Okay. But there was another comment on there. I was one of the first comments. He's like, this is a hysterical clip. I mean, the more they do this, the more goofy it is, you know. And I hate that this is in the culture now. Where people are like, oh, you're a Nazi. You're a Nazi. Everybody's a Nazi. If everybody's a Nazi, nobody's a Nazi. You can't call everybody a Nazi. That's crazy. I mean, you can, I guess. I mean, right now, they've really set this up well. You know, it's like with the Israel thing. If you question what Israel's doing in any way, shape, or form, like, hey, it's bad to kill 20,000 kids, well, then you're a Nazi. Do you want to be a Nazi? You got to vote for Hillary Clinton, or I guess you're a Nazi. You got to vote for Joe Biden, or I guess you're a Nazi. No. They've been playing this game a while. Been playing this game a while. You know? And I'm not above it. When I was 21 and debated for Barack Obama on my Christian college's stage, you can go back in one of my old videos. I reviewed that. That was my last comment. I said something like, I'm not saying you should vote for Obama because he's black. I'm not saying that. But I was going to finish and say, but it is a huge thing that's going on. It's what an opportunity for America to bury its racist past. And that I said that. That was me. That was 21-year-old me. Now I'm 36. And whenever I see young folks saying things that are cringe, I remember myself. I remember saying things that now I look back, pretty cringe. But you know what? The thing with Obama was the fact that he was black was just like a cool thing. We really liked Obama because he was going to go after the Wall Street bankers. Which, you can't say that either, right? You can't say that. Because, the Wall Street bankers, I know who you're really talking about. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm at the point now where people are like, I'm just like, whatever. Think whatever you want. Think whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not going to play your game. Okay? And I'm not going to go away. So you just got to shut me down, I guess. Delete me. And I'll still find some way. I'll be on Odyssey or Rumble or the street corner screaming. I don't care. I'm sick of this game. It is a dumb game. No. People that think Israel is an apartheid state are not Nazis. Okay? People that vote for Donald Trump, not Nazis. I am sick of people saying this, playing this game. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. It just makes you want to be like, you're one of those. Okay, I am. Now what? I know I'm not. You want to think that? Go ahead. I'm not going to sit here all night. Play your stupid game. It's dumb. I heard Andrew Tate said that in the Elon Musk X interview with Alex Jones on there. Was like, all you got, even you can accumulate possessions and whatnot. They can show up at the door and take all that. But the one thing they can't take from you, they can call you names. They can run hit pieces on you in the New Yorker, or, cover the New York Times, whatever. CNN. The one thing they can't take from you is your integrity. I know what I am. I know what I believe. And it does not matter what you say about me. I don't give a. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, you know who else doesn't give a? The Houthis in Yemen. Nope. They don't. Or the bad boys in Palestine and the Gaza Strip. They don't. Maybe it's the Irish in my last name, but there's something in me. You want to come at me? Go ahead. You can take everything from me. Go ahead. Hey, thanks for listening, brother. Take it all. Take it all. You can take my family. You can take my money. You can take my house. You can take it all. Take everything. You're still going to wake up tomorrow. And I'll be coming for you. And everybody I know will be coming for you. And we'll come for you, for the British, for a good, 700 years. I can feel it. I can feel it in my blood. In my blood, as Trump said. It's in my blood. It's just so funny. Like, Trump is just speaking like, even people on the left at this point, the Jimmy Dore type characters, are recognizing that, hey, man, immigration is an issue. I'd say Robert F. Kennedy, aside from his Israel stance, is probably the furthest left candidate. Him or Cornel West in mainstream politics. I think they're both a joke at this point, but didn't RFK go down to the border and show like horrible? So that's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about. When he's talking about the blood of the country, it's not some fascist nod. He doesn't think that much. He's just saying, like, it means a thing to be an American. We got to protect our American way of life or whatever that is, you know. I find it interesting. What Dugan talks about it is like Trump MAGA wants to go back to, like, I don't know, 1970s America, somewhere in there, 1950s. I don't know. They want to try to, like, rewind liberalism, but liberalism doesn't rewind. It doesn't stop, you know. But there are traditional tendencies in this country, and those are in rural America. That's where they exist. Rural America, sweet America, God shed his grace on thee. And these words are just dumb, you know. I called myself a Christian conservative communist just to trigger people. Also, I mean, if I like reach for words as to what I am, that's pretty accurate. But I liked it because there's different words in there that would make people want to have nothing to do with me, you know. Or I've seen this happen to Caleb. Just the fact he said you know, you say Dugan's name and there's like there's a reason you can't buy the guy's books on Amazon. Mostly because of Russia and the embargo, but the dude's brilliant. I mean, even if you disagree with him completely, you should read him and understand what he's got to say. But they'll just cancel you. I'm sick of the cancel culture, but it's always there. It's in our head, you know? Everybody's thinking about it all the time. And that's why I've decided on here, on the YouTubes, that the next strike I get, I've already gotten, I've gotten 2 strikes before during the Kofefi times, if you will, the Pokey Poke times. If I get another one, I'm just gonna figure that out. I think I gotta pay for StreamYard to stream to 2 places, and then try to do the Richard Medhurst thing where I just say, "Hey, I'm streaming on Rumble. Come over here." I don't know how he sets up a video feed for just YouTube to say that. He must be creating 2 streams, maybe. Can you stream 2 different things to 2 different places in one application? Probably. You just got to figure it out. But that's the smartest way, I think, to do it, because if you're serious about politics, you can just get on YouTube and say the direct truth. Based at home, number 4, right? Let me be extra based with you. If you lose your YouTube channel, you've been deleted out of the phone book. And you're going to be way worse doing politics because nobody's going to know who you are. You've been relegated to one of the dark holes of the internet. So you want to keep the old YouTube channel. So, should I give away the plan when it comes to that? What's the matter? Can the algorithm, can the AI read my thoughts? Maybe. Read my plans? Maybe. But instead of getting rid of your YouTube channel, just have a cooking show. Have a cooking show on Monday. Shoot some free throws on Tuesday. Right? Maybe give some workout advice on Wednesday. Come on, I can make up more stuff. Take out the trash on Thursday. Friday night, we just have a screen that says, "Come watch Tyler talk politics on Rumble." That's what the other 6 are really for. And then on Saturday, you know, make some Elsa and Anna videos with my daughters. And on Sunday, I worship the Lord on camera. And repeat. See what's going on? Maybe Beanie Baby collect. Anyway, something to think about. So Trump getting deleted off the ballot. Boy, oh boy. I tell you, in rural America, that's going to go over about as well as the Houthis getting their candidate deleted off the ballot. From what I understand from Caleb, Saudi Arabia didn't like that the Houthis in Yemen were raising in power so much, so they had pretty much set up a fake election, got a fake candidate, and he won. And the Houthis, well, they pushed back. And that guy's no longer the president, from what I understand. They marched into the Capitol and took power. Of course, we'd never do that in this country. You have a joke riot and people act like it was Yemen. That's my thing. Happens. I'm gonna say your name wrong, man. I'm gonna try to say it. Pachico Roan. He said my church is taking in 200 Venezuelan migrants. It's very controversial. I trust wholly in my pastor, though. He's got prophetic cadence. I love that. I love that, man. Blessed are the least of these. The least of these. Blessed are the least of these. You know? Oh, good. I'm glad I got it. Blessed are the least of these. You got to take care of them, man. He didn't hang out with the cool people. He didn't hang out with the rich folk. Maybe he did a little bit. I don't know. He had some nice robes. But amen, brother. But yeah. Let's say, I mean, can you even talk about stuff like this? I don't know. Maybe if I put the American flag on, I'll feel more confident. Let's just say theoretically in a video game that the election is fake. And let's say theoretically in a video game, the other party is working to delete the candidate that's leading by like 60% off the ballots. Let's say theoretically in a video game. And then you call that a democracy. Sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed his grace on thee. What do you do with the Thomas Jefferson quote about a tree and the blood of liberty? What do you do with the bloody tree of liberty? What do you do? What do you do? Maybe it's my Irish blood, Trump, my Irish blood. I think when my folks came over here to old Kentucky, I don't think we were treated all that nice, but we assimilated and we melted right in. How about that? Anyway, theoretically in a video game, the election is fake and not real. Theoretically in a video game. And it's rigged. Theoretically in a video game. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to go, well, I don't know. Well, shucks, I guess I'm gonna die. Boop. Guess my kids are gonna grow up in a fake country. Boop. No, that's where we got you in America. Because you have fed us all a big line of it. You fed us from birth. You fed us freedom of speech. You fed us real democracy. Thank God we live in a democracy. Thank God we're free. Really? And now your global economic system's starting to collapse because a couple people stood up to the big bullies. The Chinas, the Ruskies. Why aren't you just submitting? You're supposed to submit. We cut you off from the banking system. You're supposed to just crumble and let us take all your oil and shove computer chips in your Orthodox children's brains. What are you doing? That's how we keep the number going up. What are you doing? Don't make us start World War III. We might get our shoes dirty here in the Hamptons. Like Barack Obama telling people in Africa they can't have electricity while he buys, what is it, like a 12-bedroom home? In, where is it, Martha's Vineyard? Liberal hypocrisy on display. Austerity for thee, but not for me. Yeah. People around here, it ain't gonna go well. It ain't gonna go well. I think Ray McGovern said it the other day. You do this, Colorado. You do this. Oh, honestly, I think Americans are in their gut. If you do that, if you take him off the ballot, people are just going to write his name in. We got a strong middle finger contingent in this country. My own father, he'd love that I said this. If you're watching, Dad, I love you. He was in line to vote. The person in front of him was voting for Trump. The person behind him was voting for Hillary. He decided he hated them both, and so he voted for Jill Stein. He made up his mind in the line just because he hated the people associated with the, I don't know if he hated them, but they annoyed him, you know. He gets a big kick out of them. There you go. Suck on that. You know. I remember once I told my dad, I love it. I go, Dad, I bet you'd do it if someone held a gun to your head. He goes, no, I would not tell him to pull the trigger and do me a favor. Oh, that's my pops. And boy, I understand where you're coming from. Okay? So I got the passion. I got the feeling. I don't like the hypocrisy. I'm willing to get on the internet and video me saying that. Okay? But for us to do anything that matters, okay, we have to organize. I used to didn't understand what that meant. I thought that was just a thing that, like, limp-wristed liberals said. We got to organize. So I read Mao. I get it. And I ain't saying nothing. I want to do this peacefully. But I will say, the countryside surrounds the cities. Denver. The countryside surrounds the cities, if you catch my drift. Okay? But we need to organize. Just screaming into the internet is not going to help. We need to organize. All right? I don't know if everybody in CPI would agree with everything I said. I think for the most part. But I do like that we have an organization. We have an organization where we can actually get organized. We take all comers. You know, some people make fun of us. There's join right there in the top right. You can see it. That's not it. Right here, top right. Join. 4-point plan. And I pretty much summed it down to this. People are like, he's a communist. Well, what's that mean? That means I want the public ownership of natural resources, which from what I understand, is the same thing the Houthis want in their country. Wow. Well, it's funny who you demonize. And we want to take away the power from Wall Street to ruin our lives. How about that? What are we going to do with the money from our own natural resources and a public banking system? We're going to make sure everybody has a house, a job, and an education and health care. And we're going to give everyone that needs a job a good one. Rebuilding the broken country. Making housing for the homeless. High-speed rail for our economy. Blah, 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 blah. So if you think that's cool, Brother Caleb, join CPI. Okay. It's good to get organized. Ranting's important. I'm not going to take away from ranting. Funneling people to your Patreon page is important. Help me send my kids to college. Or just feed them more at this point. Those Eggo waffles. That's how I'll know the depression. That's how I'll know we're in the Great Depression. I'll know we're in the Great Depression when these no longer are readily available. When these are no more. Oh yeah, you got to get the one with the little faces on it. When these are gone, when I can no longer go to the store and buy some of these, why isn't it sharing it? There it is. When those little happy guys aren't in the store anymore, we are in the ish, people. We're in the ish. But luckily, they're still there. I was really torn when we were boycotting Eggo for a while. Man, that was tough. It's tough. Those little screaming babies love them waffles. Was it you who introduced Caleb to Wallace Wallace? I can't take credit for that. Yes, it was me. I am when I first started this channel, which I'm going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow's Spiritual Saturday, the Sabbath. I just thought about that. I don't know if I should be recording YouTube videos on the Sabbath, but it's kind of like worship. That's how I'm going to spin it. I'm really into new thought. New thought. The turn of the 20th century, there was a strain of Christianity. I guess you could call it idealism. But it's the idea, the Napoleon Hill quote, with the mind of man, what is it? Can believe, he can achieve. Something like that. So I started reading all the guys around them and eventually found Wallace Wattles. And on my page, Pachico Roan. There's an awesome song by Minus the Bear called Pachuca Sunrise. Pachico Roan. On my page, I got a playlist. Yes, can conceive and believe he can achieve. That's it. Thank you, sir. On my page, there's a playlist of audiobooks. And so far, all the way through, I've finished like 5 or 6 in parts, but I've done 2 the way I really want to do them, which is my 2 Wallace Wattles ones. Jesus, a Man and His Work, and A New Christ, A New World in the Making by Wallace Wattles. That was me. I did do that and shared it with my boy Caleb, and he read it and really liked it. So that meant a lot to me, because I remember when I first started doing this, and they always tell you on YouTube, you got to pick a lane. And I'm like, man, I got like 20 lanes. I can't pick one. I got to keep it all over the place. That's what makes it fun. You know, variety's the spice of life. But really, those are the 2 most important things to me. Were, Marxist philosophy, communism, Marxism, Leninism, and Christian spirituality. Specifically New Thought. And I thought people would make fun of me because everybody's picked a side on that one, right? They're always like, godless atheism, Marxism, communism. But I was mainly drawn to communism because I was a Christian. I was like, oh, this is just like, well, everything we're taught growing up in your government. Okay. You know, and I'm not against freedom of religion. I think that's important. That's integral. You know, I think that's righteous. But I also think nationalizing the natural resources is righteous, and making sure you have a state that doesn't let the banking system in debt and control and ruin the lives of its population, specifically its young people getting ready to go into college. That would be a good thing. You know, if you're going to lend somebody money, an amount of money that can seriously affect their life for decades, I would be okay with having a government that makes sure that's done in the best interest of the borrower, specifically if they're under the age of 30. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, Leo. I'll have to check it out. Chinatown. I know it's a classic. I always get that confused with Big Trouble in Little China. I think Chinatown. I don't know what it is. But yeah, to sum this up, too long, didn't read. Trumpism is here, baby. MAGA communism is here. Whatever it is, whatever it means. It's cool in 2023, 2024 to rep communism, to rep Christianity, maybe even to rep Trump, if for no other reason than just to piss off the libs. You know, that's what they don't get. They're on TV like wringing their hands, like, how can anyone support him? Why? Because it pisses you off. You on TV, you who don't have any idea how the Missouri Stream Team thinks or feels. You who have no idea what it's like to go into a bank and be laughed out of the bank because you're never going to get a home loan because you went to college. And there ain't no good manufacturing jobs anymore. And there's only so many of you in the professional managerial class. Only so many gigs at CNN. I don't think I'd particularly fit in very well there. Do you guys? Probably not. I'd rather do this. I can do it however I want, whenever I want. I can do this. Woo! Where's that other one I saw earlier? Sums it up. There it is. What kind of background is that? I remember, I can't even see it. Cuts it off. The cross and the hammer and the sickle. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, yep. I get it. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. I don't need to see anymore. I was like, that's it. That's them together. They've always went together. They've just tried to drive them apart. But they go together. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. They do. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. So yeah. America. Living room. Brick wall. Taking our boy off the ballot. Taking Rural America's boy off the ballot ain't gonna work. You're just gonna make him more mad. Okay. Ain't gonna work. Dad's in the chat. Dad'll tell you. It ain't gonna work. Dad already had an idea. Dad wants to create a campaign called how do you spell it? You told me this. It was writethevote.com. Just write the guy's name in. How would you do it, Dad? I think the first time you told me you did it like this. Writethevote.com. Write the vote. Write the vote. Write the guy's name in. And Dad, a real American, Mr. Gary, was like, I'm not doing this because I support Trump. It's not about that. It's about the principle of the thing. Believe it or not, people in rural America have principles. Believe it or not. And you've sold us a bill of goods our whole life. If you're gonna rig this thing, that's a bill of goods. You sold us our whole life, and we're just gonna whichever one of these you want. We'll do that. Blumenthal wants to ride in a watermelon for Palestine. My dad doesn't want to do that. He's ride in Trumpy Bear for a middle finger to people who want to maintain their dictatorship of the bourgeoisie. I don't think so, Leo. I think it's the beginning of something beautiful. Sometimes it's got to burn down a little bit so you rise from the ashes. You can build something new and pretty in its place, That's how I feel about that one. And my other thought was Amy Goodman needs to come hang out in Salem for a while. And what else? I feel like if the Trump supporters and the Houthis got to know each other, they would get along. They're going to agree on a lot more than they're going to disagree on. Yes, sir, Leo. Yes, sir. Absolutely. And, since it always bothers me when people say this, I'm going to say the opposite. Would you please dislike this video and unsubscribe? Okay. That's what I need. It helps the channel. It helps the channel it actually does help the channel when you dislike the video, I think. I think about that sometimes when I see something that I absolutely hate from someone else. And I'm like, should I dislike this? I'm helping them by even watching it, But if you dislike it, the algorithm just loves the engagement. Unsubscribe. That one doesn't help. It doesn't help me. Oh, man. But there is, in the description, there's all the ways you can help. Patreon, buy me coffee, the PayPal, every single person says this, blah, 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 blah. And you're saying it too. You dummy. What are you doing? Stop it. It's not helping the American phoenix rise from the ashes. You know what? I don't know if you guys are like me, but do you ever do things in numbers? Like you like certain numbers and other numbers make you give you the willies. Give you the willies. It happens to me sometimes. So I'm going to talk to you guys till I hit 107. That's my favorite number is 7. I really like green. I like the fact that I can put stuff. Maybe I could use that Eggo waffles. Is this enough time to make Eggo waffles my background? Did that give me a copyright strike? I don't know. Let's see. Eggo waffles. See how this looks on me. Is it the season? 'Tis the season for Eggo waffles. Downloads by date added. Oh, it won't let me do Eggo waffles. It's not the right image type. I'm not going to let you guys down that easy. We're going to find that. We're going to find it in the right image type. Here we go. Save as. Is that the one I just saved? Yeah, crap. Here. I'm going to take a screenshot of it. There we go. Now you can't take it away from me, StreamYard. You jerk. Where is it? There it is. Ha. Now look at me. Now look at me. Woo! Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get the little smiley faces on me. Yeah. There it is. Ha! Caleb Moppin's never done this. Oh, crap. Should I not have this stream? I don't know, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you stuck around, Pachico. You're the man. Your fellow believer. Spam, spam, spam America. My dad's here. Everybody important's here. We're all working together to help the American Phoenix rise. The American Phoenix rise. Oh, all right. 1 minute left. That's enough time for some shameless. What is it? What's the places? I like this one. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, I got 5. 5 supporters on this one. How do I go to that? Look at that guy. What's the other one? Boop. This one. This guy. This guy's making $45 a month. Amazing. I love you guys. I love y'all so much. It's amazing. It's amazing to be on the old internet with my egos and whatever it is. Oh, I got time. Oh, here. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, I can get out at 7:49. That's my favorite number.